There's a rhythm to the market, an invisible pulse that only those who have spent years watching the ticker can feel. It moves with the crowd's emotions, greed, fear, hesitation, and every candle on your 5-minute chart is a reflection of that collective psychology. Many traders think scalping is just about quick moves and faster clicks, but the truth is, it's about precision, patience, and understanding how human nature plays out in the smallest units of time. The 5-minute chart doesn't lie. It exposes your habits, your impatience, and your greed faster than any other time frame. When you're working within 5-minute windows, you can't afford fantasy. There's no room for hope or hesitation. Every second counts. You must trade like a surgeon, quick, deliberate, and emotionless. Most traders fail not because their strategy is wrong, but because they can't separate themselves from the noise inside their own head. They see a green candle and chase. They see red and panic. The 5-minute chart punishes both instantly. Let me tell you something I learned the hard way. Years ago, I thought success was about predicting price direction. I'd stare at the tape for hours, trying to find the next big move. I believed my intellect could outthink the crowd, but the market doesn't care how smart you are. It only rewards those who understand rhythm and manage risk. Once I accepted that, my results changed. Scalping is not about prediction, it's about reaction. You're not forecasting the future, you're reading the heartbeat of the market and aligning yourself with it for brief moments. The key is not to stay in long enough to fall in love with your position. You enter, extract your profit, and leave. Fast, clean, and disciplined. On the 5-minute chart, your greatest enemy is hesitation. You see a setup forming a tight consolidation near a key level, volume picking up, and your instincts tell you to enter. But fear whispers, what if it reverses? You hesitate. The move happens without you. Then greed whispers, maybe I can catch it now, and you chase at the top, only to be dumped on by those who entered early. That cycle destroys more traders than any bad strategy ever could. Let me simplify the process for you. Successful scalping on the 5-minute chart comes down to 3 elements: direction, momentum, and control. Direction tells you the side to be on, momentum confirms it's in motion, and control keeps you from overtrading. Without all 3, you'll lose. Direction is found through context. You must know the broader trend on the higher time frames. Even a 5-minute scalper must bow to the larger waves of the market. Never fight the tide. If the 1-hour and 15-minute charts show a clear uptrend, your scalps should follow that direction. Trade in harmony with the prevailing current, not against it. That's how you catch the smoothest moves. Momentum is your confirmation. You can see it in volume spikes, clean breakouts from consolidation zones, and the strength of candles following key levels. But here's where most traders go wrong. They assume every breakout is real. The market loves to fake, to lure you in before snapping the trap. You must wait for proof. I always wait for a candle to close beyond the level and volume to confirm participation. Then, and only then, do I strike. Control is the last and most important piece. It's what separates the professional operator from the gambler. Control means knowing when not to trade. The 5-minute chart tempts you constantly. It flashes movement every few seconds, but most of it is meaningless noise. You must learn to wait for the clean, high-probability setups. The fewer decisions you make, the better your results will be. Every profitable scalper I've known had the same trait. They respected their stop-loss more than their entry. It's not about being right. It's about staying alive long enough to be right again. If you risk 2 points to make 4, and your edge plays out 60% of the time, you'll win in the long run. But if you refuse to cut your losses because of ego, no system will save you. When I traded actively, I used to test myself by writing down my emotions before and after every trade. It revealed a hard truth. Most of my losing trades began with excitement, and most of my winning trades began with calm certainty. If you feel too eager before entering a trade, step back. That's not intuition, that's greed wearing a disguise. Now let's talk about execution, the heartbeat of scalping. In the 5-minute world, your entries and exits must be mechanical. Have a defined trigger. Maybe it's a break above the previous candle's high with confirmation volume, or a retest of a moving average after a breakout. Whatever it is, make it repeatable. The market doesn't reward creativity in scalping, it rewards consistency. Once you're in, set your stop immediately. Not where you hope it won't hit, but where the structure tells you the trade is invalid. That's your insurance. Then, set your target. For scalping, you don't need large gains. You need small, consistent wins. The compounding effect of dozens of disciplined trades beats the rare jackpot trade that most dreamers chase. Scalping teaches you humility fast. It teaches you how to obey your plan, because the moment you don't, the market will remind you of your place. I've lost fortunes not from bad analysis, but from broken discipline. There's nothing more dangerous than being right once. After ignoring your rules, it tricks you into believing you're smarter than the market. But you're not. None of us are. I've seen traders blow up accounts trying to turn scalping into gambling. They take 10 trades in an hour, chasing movement with no plan. That's not trading, that's addiction. The professional scalper might take 1, maybe 2 trades a session. Precision is the goal, not frequency. You want to enter when the market is vulnerable, when the probability of your setup aligning with volume, momentum, and trend is highest. Patience creates profit. Impulsiveness creates losses. Every candle that forms is an opportunity for you to practice restraint. The secret most traders never learn is that not trading is a form of trading. Waiting is a position. When you operate on a 5-minute chart, you must think in probabilities, not absolutes. You will lose trades. You will have false breakouts. That's not failure. That's the cost of doing business. The only failure is refusing to learn from each outcome. After every session, review your trades. Ask yourself, did I follow my plan? Did I act emotionally? Did I chase? Did I cut my losses fast enough? Your journal becomes your greatest teacher. One principle I lived by is that the market rewards clarity and punishes confusion. If you're not sure about a trade, skip it. The best trades feel effortless because they align with your analysis, your risk parameters, and your emotional state. Anything forced will fail. Scalping also demands a specific mindset. You can't bring long-term investor thinking into short-term trading. The 5-minute chart is a battlefield of speed, reflexes, and control. You must think fast, but never rush. You must execute instantly, but without panic. It's a paradox that only discipline can solve. The strategy that always works isn't one pattern, it's the mindset of structured repetition. You identify momentum near key levels, you align with trend, you enter with confirmation, and you exit mechanically. The setup may change shape, but the principle never does. The true strategy that always works is discipline. Everything else is temporary. Let me give you an example. Suppose you're watching a strong uptrend on the 1-hour chart. Price pulls back slightly on the 5-minute, consolidates, and prints higher lows near a key moving average. Volume starts to rise, candles tighten, and then you get a clean breakout. That's your cue. You enter as soon as the breakout candle closes, set a stop just below the consolidation, and target a risk-reward ratio of 1 to 2. If the market follows through, you take your profit without hesitation. If it fails, your stop saves you. That single discipline, respecting your stop, keeps you in the game when everyone else is bleeding. Traders ask, how do I know when to exit? The answer is simple. Before greed talks. The moment you start thinking, maybe I can get more, you're already in danger. The market often reverses right after you convince yourself to hold longer. My rule was to take profits when the market gave me what I asked for. Never more, never less. Another common mistake I see is over-leverage. The faster the time frame, the more tempted traders are to increase size. They believe quick trades mean less risk, but it's the opposite. In scalping, leverage magnifies every tiny fluctuation. A single emotional mistake can wipe you out. Trade small enough that a loss doesn't disturb your peace. If you can't sleep comfortably after placing a trade, it's too large. The 5-minute chart exposes who you truly are. It's a mirror that reflects every weakness you try to hide: impatience, greed, doubt. The trader who conquers himself on this chart can trade any market, any time frame, any condition. And remember this, the market doesn't owe you money. Every cent you earn must be taken from someone else's mistake. Your job is to ensure you're not the one making it. That's why discipline is everything. If you lose it, you become the liquidity that feeds the professionals. So, if you truly want to master the 5-minute scalping strategy, stop searching for the perfect indicator. Start mastering yourself. Every profitable trader I've known has one thing in common. They treat this business like a craft, not a gamble. They show up every day, study their charts, execute their plan, and respect their risk. If this message resonates with you, subscribe now and stay connected. Comment below and tell me your biggest challenge in scalping the habits, the fears, the emotions that test your discipline. I want to hear what the market is teaching you, because every trader's battle reveals something valuable. The truth is simple. The 5-minute strategy that always works isn't built on indicators but on integrity. If you can be consistent, calm, and patient while others chase noise, the market will reward you. The chaos you once feared will become rhythm, and the randomness will turn into opportunity. Profitable scalping is not about speed, it's about control. The market moves fast, but you must move with clarity. If you can slow your mind while prices move quickly, you'll see things others miss. You'll find the rhythm beneath the noise. In the end, trading is never about being perfect, it's about being prepared. The trader who survives long enough to learn from every loss eventually becomes the trader who no longer needs luck. That's the goal. That's the real secret behind any strategy that always works. It's not the system, it's the discipline to use it right. Every single time.